I'm talking to director Michael Tully of Midnight Motel. So, are you having fun here in Dallas? I know you're an Austin guy.
I'm having fun. It's my first time at the festival, and I'm wondering, I only moved to Texas a few years ago, so that's my excuse. But also now I'm wondering why I didn't come last year or the year before. Now that I'm here, I can pretty much guarantee I'll be back soon, whether I have a film or not. But hopefully I'll have a film with me.
All right. So do you usually do this type of film that, where you're working with Jack Ingram, you've got a big-time musician, or did he just surprise you and be like, you are the chosen one?
I was luckily, I'd never been the chosen one when it came to a musician before. I've done music videos for friends, but they were songs that I personally had a connection to and the artist I knew. The Jack Ingram thing came to me out of the blue. Two people had recommended me from different worlds to the management company, but then I sat down with Jack and we met and we realized we had some mutual friends in common. Our taste buds were similar, and then it sort of, that led to that. But it was, a year ago today I was driving up here with Jack to talk about the film, and here we are.
That's a really fast turnaround.
Well, it's a short film, so it actually has been, to me, it's a longer turnaround. If we're talking about a feature, that's a pretty quick turnaround. But in the sense of it being ultimately a promotion for the record, but what I wanted to bring to the table was an artistic film that we could maybe, if we were lucky enough, submit to a film festival, and they wouldn't say, this is just a promo for an album. Yeah. So that's the one thing I'm taking away from this, and we're going to screen in Nashville next, is the fact that prestigious festivals that have such a concentrated focus on music and really respect the music film, the fact that we're playing here is really an honor.
Yeah. Now, when did Heather get involved? Was she a friend of yours already?
Heather I had met a few years ago. I can't even remember exactly when, but when I moved to Austin, we were spending more time together, and I just have always loved her. I knew her work before we met, and then now she'll come over if I have a party or a picnic, ping pong tournament, she'll come over with her husband. But when Jack was pitching this idea about a couple who has fireworks and the sparks, and they're so hot in a good way, and then they can be hot in a bad way, I just had this sense of Heather and Jack would connect. They'd never met each other, and the night before we started shooting, they came to my house, and we were having this just sort of powwow, get to know you. We're about to go to cinematic war here for 3 days, and at one point it just turned into a sort of improv thing that was not my design as director, and they just started, and it started getting emotional, and at that point I was like, oh, this was a good idea. I think this was a good idea.
Now, did Jack come to you with a lot of ideas, or was he just kind of generalizing and really needing you to do the artistic legwork?
I think my job was to almost pull his ideas back and make something, because the budget we had was smaller. I think he loves this record. It maybe plays for about 50 minutes. It's an hour-long record, and I think he wanted to do something long form. But with the budget we had, I guess my experience as a filmmaker was, why don't we make something a little bit smaller that still has a good bit of the songs from the album, but a lot of the ideas in the film are his. Some of the lines are directly his, and my job is to sort of try to bring that vision to light. So he had a ton of ideas. If anything, I was just trying to rein the guy in, because he's like full of ideas, and we just didn't have the time or the money to make a long form feature film. But I think if we could pull that together and people like Midnight Motel, Jack and I think Heather would be down for the feature version of it, and I would love to help out.
I remember the first time I watched Hard Day's Night, and my parents raised me on 60s music, and I was so excited the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, can fans of Jack Ingram kind of look forward to a similar experience?
I hope so. I really hope that, I hope anything I do transcends its little limitations of, like, the ping pong movie I did before this Ping Pong Summer had a lot of hip hop, and my hope is you didn't have to know those hip hop songs to like it. Same thing with Midnight Motel, but I think for fans it's a real treat, because it actually has songs from the record, but they're original performances. It's getting to see Jack act, and he's a really good actor. He's not just sort of, I wasn't on set like wondering, oh man, why didn't we get a real actor here? Jack carries the thing, and then combined with Heather, you have two real actors. So I feel like for fans of Jack Ingram, it's kind of a no-brainer, and my hope is that it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's sort of open-ended enough that they'll play it like a record and say, let's watch this again, let's watch this again. And it's also under 11 minutes, so it's not going to feel like a feature film commitment.
Sure.
But yeah, I would watch Hard Day's Night every day also, if I had the chance.
Oh, yeah. So, Who does win the ping pong tournaments at your house?
Not me. I mean, my wife beat me a month ago, so that was just a one-off. But I played with Jack at the house, and he played with a mutual friend of ours who was the art director in the movie, and he plays the barfly as well. We couldn't get Matthew McConaughey, who Jack has a charity event with. I was like, get your buddy McConaughey to be in this short film. He was up in, I think, the Northwest making a Western. So I thought, okay, art director Joey Todd, you're my McConaughey. So I was like, you need to stop doing art department now. Come over here and sit in the stool and act with Jack. But they had such a history. They used to play music together in the late 90s in Nashville. So there was this powwow. Jack came over to my house one day at Joey Todd, and I just sat back and listened to them reminiscing about the old days, the old slappy days, rock and roll days.
Is that amazing?
It was pretty hilarious. I have not laughed that hard in a long time.
All right, well, I'm trusting we're going to see you again now that you know the Dallas Film Festival is up here.
I'm coming back. I'm hoping to just trying to get another movie made, and then I will submit it and just hope that the powers that be, our wonderful programmers who have great taste, sort of see fit to program it. I'll be back.
Good to hear. Good to hear. All right, congratulations. Have fun tonight.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.